Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee. So I hope everybody can hear us today and everything's going well.
Yeah, but we're very off balance. Look at that.
Oh.
We're totally tilty. That.
Oh. Well, I can't see because I have my notes up. Oh, yeah.
Let me correct or try to.
Mr. O will fix
before,
the camera
so I'm not
a
sure
little
what
bit.
happened.
I wonder, the book.
I have to take away my lofty. How does that look?
I have a delay. It's better, though. It's definitely better. Yeah, I can see it now.
Not really.
It's almost perfect, Mr. O.
Just like us.
There we go.
Why don't you just keep on?
Thanks to everybody who posted their questions. I have them all. I see you've added some layers of information there, Shirley. I'll let Mr. O take a look at that. I've got your general question, though, so I have that. That's about it. We're going to get started. We have a birthday reading. I don't think Tim is here. Tim, are you here? But we're going to do it anyway because we said we would do it today. So happy birthday to Tim. I believe it is past. That's right, because it's on my birthday, right? He had it on my birthday. So.
I think you said it was the day before or something like that.
Yeah. So at any rate, woohoo.
Woohoo.
And we're going to do this card for the collective first, of course. And it'll be from the Season of the Witch, Beltane Oracle. Beltane is just around the corner. All right, Mr. O. What you got? Growth. Number 16.
Growth.
This is the season of growth, absolutely. So
Number 16.
Okay, it's expansion. Inside myself I've sown beauty with wounds, which speaks of my immortality in the expansive eternal song, softly bellowing in spirit. In ancient times, Beltane would have been considered to be the start of summer, the season of action, abundance, and energy. The universe will present you with opportunities in such a period of growth, but you must be willing to meet opportunity with commitment and passion. Make those calls, start researching, and be ready to make your pitch when you're put on the spot. Your dreams are out there for the taking, but you must be willing to do the work to see them grow. I'm kind of watching the list while you're playing there because I don't want to miss anybody coming in. You have pulled growth to remind you that success lies outside of your comfort zone. This card is challenging you to reach for things that are much bigger than you'd normally go for. Do not worry about the outcome, but instead focus on what you can do today to be one step closer to the goal line. Just as farmers have to do heavy lifting during spring pulling weeds, fertilizing crops, and monitoring growth, you will also need to expend energy to reap your harvest later down the road. Pulling growth, well, and that's it. That's basically it for this card. That was something else. So remember that, people talk about growing pains for a reason, right? Success requires growth, and sometimes that requires growing pains. You have to step outside your comfort zone. You have to feel uncomfortable to get to that comfortable spot sometimes that you want to be in. So consider that. Growth doesn't just happen without some effort and work and some challenges along the way that you have to be ready to face.
Right. Think of it as the circle of life, the cycle of life. Not any of us really are very fortunate to be born fully equipped to take on life. I mean, that's why there are maturation processes in most life. There are some things that could just literally, get up and run immediately, like a horse or a goat, but not humans.
Well, thank you for the birthday wishes, everybody. It was last Sunday. We did my birthday reading on the show, which is why we're doing Tim's today.
Right.
So we will be doing that. I thank you, though, for all the greetings.
Hey, Angel.
Hey, Angel. We'll definitely do that for you. I'll get you on the list. I think you're the only one I have to add. I'm going to scooch up a little bit. I was reading, and Mr. O was doing camera work. I don't think anybody else came in. I can't get up there, Mr. O.
I just can't get that camera right.
Oh, well, I can't get up there either. All right. All right, so I've added Angel. Here is the list as I have it.
Right.
And that's what we have for the collective. So
Right.
I just posted the list, Mr. O, are doing the birthday reading.
So
for
without
us.
further ado, we are going to do the birthday gift spreads, and that's for Tim, who we arranged this with last week, I believe. So there's a picture of the birthday gift spread. And we do that for people at the beginning of the show because it's a longer reading. We want to get it out of the way. So we only do it by arrangement. You can't come in and say, it's my birthday. We'll say,
Right.
okay, come back next Thursday or something.
Or
like
when
that.
we can fit it in, because we have to do them at the beginning of the show. And that
It just
way,
goes for the pacing of our show.
it'll always be available to people when they want to see it again.
All right, Tim. So this reading basically takes into account from about a year ago to possibly a year ahead from now.
Well, it's for your solar year. So, yes.
And I am using the Legend Arthurian Tarot for your reading. So, card 1 is the gift that you received last year that you can use to make the most of this year. And it's the sun. Huzzah.
Nice. Well, whatever successes you have achieved last year, Tim. Oh, hey, how are you?
Hi, Divine.
How are you, Divine? Would you like a reading today? All right, so at any rate, Tim, this is about, maximizing maybe some success you had last year. Or, this might be also, I think the gift from last year is some successes that you have achieved last year can be the fuel for you to move forward on other projects and goals, giving you the motivation, giving you not just the motivation, but the optimism and the confidence that you need, to succeed in this year ahead.
All right. So, the gift of last year maybe was really understanding a particular insight of some sort, or it could have been about a particular milestone in your own family or growth situation. So perhaps maybe there was a significant event that may have concerned relationships or may have concerned children, new children. But more likely it just sort of means a really optimistic feeling that came to you from, awareness and or joy that you received at that time. And it just sort of is inspiring you even now.
Right, so the next one is the gift of the present moment.
And that's the reversed
Sunny.
Ace
Come
of
back here.
Swords.
Sit down. Reversed Ace of Swords. Well, okay, some setbacks or some slowdowns maybe are actually a gift right now. Maybe, the fact that you're facing some challenges will inspire you and motivate you more to rise above that. I also think the gift of the present moment is taking some time to clear your head and think things through. Take this moment in time now to work on, what may be needing a little extra push from you and determine what it is you need to do.
Right, the gift of the present moment being the reversed Ace of Swords is saying there may be a necessary pause for you to consider what decisions you are doing now. This may be more pivotal for you than you may realize. There may be reasons why you do have to create a sense of what priorities you are working on. And maybe in order to do that, you have to really assess things at a level of taking a time out in some respect, or of understanding that certain things that maybe you did have good faith about starting up, maybe those plans need to change a little bit or even change entirely.
Card 3, the gift from your connections with others in the next year.
That's the reversed moon.
Oh, wow. Well, I think that, they're going to really, you're going to really have some interesting engagements with others in the year ahead. You're going to find out a lot about the people you're with, for example, at work, on the job. You may find out more than maybe you want to know about some people in some ways. And some of this may come to you intuitively. I think that just, this is a year of engaging with others and finding out things that you really need to know, whether it is about them or it's even through networking with others in the workplace that you discover, information and knowledge that you need to know.
It almost feels like, in a way, too, that maybe your presence and interactions with people sort of promotes the idea that they feel they can or wish to tell you things. And so some of these things may be just more about themselves, but that's still information for you that probably could be useful. But it could be about a lot of other things, too, how they feel about situations where you work together or you share certain experiences together. This may feel like you're just very conversational to the point you get people to relax, open up, and maybe discuss all the things that are important for both of you.
Well, thank you, Divine. I was mentioning earlier my birthday was last Sunday, and it was a great day.
Thank
all
you,
the way around.
Divine.
So what can Tim expect? What is this to help him work on,
Number 4.
achieve, or move forward on his dreams and goals?
And it's the Ten of Cups upright.
Wow. To feel the joy in what you are doing. Make sure that what you're doing is truly filling you with joy and making you happy. I think here that's going to help you achieve your goals. The more you are passionate about what you do, the more more joyful you are, and the more you're willing to see it through to its happy ending, then the better, this will be.
Hi, Anthony.
Hey, good to see you again, Anthony. We'll get you on the list.
So, right, I think there's a sense here that receiving joy or receiving a sense of happiness through family connections or through some solidarity you feel, if a family doesn't apply, maybe it's just close friendships with people or coworkers or people you worship with or anything like that. It gives you such a feeling of joy and shared happiness that this is what inspires you to work on to achieve your goals, because maybe some of those goals will revolve around those situations of who your family is, who's got your back, and who you want to help or support. What's up, Bansh?
Oh, nothing. I've just miscounted. All right.
Hi, Ari.
I know
the
I've
list
got
is
Ari.
not closed,
I've got Ari on the list.
but it may be soon.
I'm probably not going to fill in a lot more questions, so it's getting harder to keep up with. But I've got up to Angel, so. Well, and actually I've got up to Divine. I will do that. So what did you pull there? What was that card for that?
The Ten of Cups, you already talked about it,
I already
right?
talked about it. So
Okay,
let's
so
move
it's
on.
card 5. The gift from your spirit guides and or ancestors. What do they want you to know or keep in mind in this next year? And it's the upright Nine of Pentacles. It's called the Nine of Shields here.
Oh, it's from the ancestors, the Nine of Shields.
Yeah.
I feel your ancestors want the best for you. They want the absolute best for you. That's the Nine of Pentacles. And they will support you in your efforts to achieve comfort, and happiness in your life and fulfillment.
Exactly. This is a really good sign. I don't see sometimes cards like this exactly for that particular position, but the Nine of Pentacles is about you feeling really comfortable and at peace, and that's what the ancestors are wishing for you and the spirit guides. And so they may be doing what they can on their own side of things to influence or guide you that, but knowing this should help you keep in mind that maybe your veneration towards them, or your remembering your ancestors at this time, maybe saying a prayer for them or something like that, instills the idea that they can be helpful to you, or so we are told.
Hi, everyone. Okay.
Hi, everyone.
So finally, the final card, the gift this year ultimately gives to you, Tim. What lessons have you learned? What progress or growth have you achieved by year's end?
And it's the upright Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Shields.
Wow, that's nice. The Knight of Pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a year of growth for you all the way around. I think this is a growthful time for you. I think that that by the end of the year, if you haven't already started something new and is working on something new, by year's end, everything you've experienced in this solar year, and by the way, it's till your next birthday, when I say by this year's end, you will be ready to go off maybe in a new direction and start something new. Maybe maybe even a new chapter in your life. It could be possibly indicating a marriage or a new home, or maybe an addition to the family. So, it's just could be a lot of different things depending on where you are in life.
It could be that the main lesson you learn is that pacing yourself is very important, and sort of having a sense of discipline to move steadily towards your goals is really, the lesson that you'll learn. And that sometimes, you will take things with you that you can repurpose as you move along, sort of like the seeds that you take with you.
Well, thank you. You did the lessons learned and I did the progress and growth. So that worked.
Oh, okay. I didn't even realize that. That's why we're a team.
That's why we're a team. That's right. So that's what we have for you, Tim. Happy birthday to you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. And remember, it'll always be here in our archives on this date, and you can come back and refer to it anytime. So good luck.
Happy birthday.
All right. So hopefully Tim will come back and view that, and we're going to move on with our regular readings right now. And we are on Libra. And
just remind everybody that we're on Thursday nights too, from 7 to 9 p.m. And we just bumped up a couple subscribers. I got to update that list, but we actually have about 877. So thank you very much.
Libra wants to know what's coming towards me. All right. And I'm going to pick, I brought out a couple of different decks, some of my decks. I brought out the Flower Child Tarot, which is just a happy-go-lucky, hippie kind of looking deck. It's fun, right or right.
And here in near Detroit area, Michigan, it's a little cooler. We had some nice warmer weather, but we had some storms too last week. But now it's once again characteristically cooled off a little bit. I woke up and felt like I was a little too cold because we had turned off our heat. I resisted the temptation to turn it back on.
Well, this is the normal weather for this time of year, and a lot of times people are turning their heat on at night, but shutting it off during the day, or turning it up so, it won't go on. Oy. It's that crazy time of year here in Michigan.
Right. Thank you, Ren. We'll get that.
All right, so what's coming towards you is the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So what's coming towards you, Libra, is maybe a period of slowing it down, but not to the point of stagnating or taking your eye off of what needs to be done. This is maybe a time to slow it down and not do anything reckless, and also not get bored with what you're doing. So hopefully you're not slowing down because either you're unwilling to face whatever it is you need to do, or you just are, you're procrastinating is a better word, I guess, what I'm looking for here. And so, but that's what's coming toward you, a period of either wanting to procrastinate or just kind of slow things down.
Right. I mean, we could also, call it laziness. Like maybe you're just so unmotivated because of whatever events, legitimate or just going on in your head or your life, that you really feel like you just can't get yourself going to do something. And so, this is maybe of concern. It may be coming because it's kind of an over or an underreaction of some sort of defense mechanism against the stress that maybe things moving too fast or too much out of your control might bring. So
why is this important? And what's really interesting to me, Libra, it's another Knight reversed. The Knight of Wands reversed.
Sorry. It's the Knight of Wands reversed.
So why is this important is because if you move too quickly, you're going to make some reckless bad mistakes that will come back to haunt you. So I think here maybe, or why is this important? Because maybe, again, if you are doing this because you're lazy or procrastinating, you risk possibly losing out on an opportunity to move yourself forward. I could look at it that way too.
Is this, malaise kind of feeling because you're overconfident and sort of feel like you don't need to be more prepared? Or does the malaise kind of hypnotize you into saying like, well, it doesn't really matter if I'm prepared or not because I already feel resigned to a certain outcome?
So, where are things headed? It's the Seven of Cups, upright.
If you choose not to decide. No.
We're seeing a lot of things lately. We got the Two of Swords today and stuff. And I do have to say, decisions and choices this week are going to be a theme for our cards for the collective as well. And so I feel here where things are headed is you ultimately have to decide what you're going to do here. You ultimately have to decide what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. And don't get lost in ruminating. I really feel here that maybe this card is saying, don't get lost in ruminating. Don't get lost in thought. Don't just idly sit by and let opportunities pass you by or chances that you could move things along a little bit better than you are. Ruminating is bad, but thinking things through, is good.
So what's coming to you is maybe a period of time where maybe you have to define yourself. What is the difference between ruminating or strategizing it? Because in a way, the Seven of Cups kind of talks about what we talked about here, the sense of no motivation. We don't want to pick something because it's a commitment, and therefore it means possibly having to fulfill that commitment. So I'm going to pull the Lenormand now.
Don't add people to the list, Mr. O. We've talked about this.
Why?
Because it doubles me up. It gets delayed and I don't think it's there, and I write it in and then yours pops up.
So that means you don't listen to me when I say I'm adding you to the list. Okay, got it.
Don't do it.
I won't. But you're buzz-killing the list.
No, I'm not.
All right. Well, you're buzz-killing me then.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right. So, Lenormand. It's the stork and the dog.
Mo. Well, I could look at this two ways. Again, this could be saying, look to somebody you trust to help you start over or begin a new beginning of some sort. Or this could also indicate, I wonder if this has to do with any kind of friendships or relationships. This could indicate that maybe some change is coming in your relationships.
Yes, I like that. And of course, I had to stop for this big furry black thing that just arrived. Isn't she beautiful, folks? But indeed, the Lenormand seems to suggest, Libra, that maybe what happens in this is that, and maybe that loyal thing is about being loyal to your own concerns too, that maybe some of this is diversionary, the sense of distracting yourself from making decisions or not feeling the motivation. It is maybe being unloyal to yourself, and that when you realize that your concerns really get pushed aside from time to time because of whatever reasons, but they're important. And so be loyal to yourself and realize that you have that ability to start it up again, to refreshen things or do a new beginning when all of this stuff tries to weigh you down. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that. Yes, I'm done. So hand the cards.
Thank you, Shirley. Yeah, she is our beautiful one.
Good luck with that, Libra.
The three of them are from the same litter. So Sonny is her brother. And then there's another one who doesn't get up here very often. Hey, you.
All right, Shirley is up, and I have Shirley's general question. She added some background later. I don't know if you want to take a look at that, but anyway, here's the question. That last word, oh, jeez. The last word that didn't fit is court.
Okay. And Shadow, you're just messing the thing up here, rubbing around, moving the stage around.
Flapping her tail on my cards. Shadow, come on up here. Hey, come on up here. Who can lay here with us? Get the throne.
Okay, well, that's a pretty heavy question, all right. Let's see what we can do here.
Yeah, right. Corks was the last word. I
Yeah, we
couldn't
got it.
fit
Thank you,
it in.
And I'm going to use my Ibis Egyptian Tarot. Lay down, you. Just lay down, okay? Lay down.
Hi, Dr. V. I think we can fit you in, yes.
Hi, Dr. Victor.
Oops.
All right, I'm going to throw the cards out and we'll see what we have. So our first card is Death, Major Arcana 13.
Oh.
And that's followed by the Five of Swords. These are both upright. Thank you, Kat, for messing my stage. And then also upright, the Seven of Pentacles. Well, this is kind of interesting because, of course, sometimes things around the Death card could be talking about the legalities concerning, people's wills and things like that. I don't know if that's exactly about, a particular, factor. I'm sorry about your brother passing away.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Shirley. This is a weird time, and it's funny you got the Death card here. I don't know. She may be trying to stir up trouble. I see that Five of Swords right in the middle there, and the Five of Swords is a very contentious card. So I think her motives may not be very, positive ones. The Seven of Pentacles indicates that maybe she's got some expectations of something out of all of this, right?
Yeah,
Is she planning? Is she trying to grow something here? Grow some?
Right. It sort of adds a
antagonism?
suspicious slant, like she has her own agenda, or that she wants to appear to be a certain thing. Like maybe she's trying to do something and yet appear like, I'm not really doing nothing. I'm just sort of standing here, because that's the Seven of Pentacles too, as the person who hasn't really engaged in something, but something may be going on.
She may be trying to get something to change because, the Death card is here. Right. So she's trying to force change in some way.
Right, because the Five of Swords is a very conflicting card, and it could represent somebody who's willing to use force in their deliberations.
Right. Well, I think she's trying to get something to change. She's willing to push it as far as she can to make this change happen. And I think she's expecting to get something out of this. I'm not sure what it would be, but maybe you have an idea, Shirley.
Yeah, so she may be trying to bluster her way through this.
Well, let's see what the Lenormand has to say. Well, here.
All right, so it's the moon. And the garden. And, of course, the garden represents kind of the public world or the social public world.
Is she worried about her reputation here or something? I don't know why I'm picking that up. The moon sometimes talks about recognition or awards or success. And then I see the garden, which is really about public opinion or, people's opinions of her. So I'm kind of wondering here if she's trying to also, she's worried about her reputation in some way or how people are looking at her in all of this.
Right, because it could be that, there's a sense that maybe she is a little obvious, or that somebody could, without a lot of, problems, sort of tie the knots together and say, that could be what they're going on there. The Five of Swords concerns me, Shirley, because it does represent somebody who's willing to do something, whatever they can, to make somebody else back down. So that concerns me. It's funny because the Seven of Pentacles looks like somebody who's willing to wait and let things happen on their own. So does that mean that she wants to be able to appear that way? Or is she hoping that you're the one that will just sort of let it happen? And, I'm not saying this about you, but I've been on the other side of sibling interactions that don't always seem to be very nice or fair.
So it's a very odd reading, but I'm getting that there's definitely something antagonistic going on, and she's trying to push an agenda. And so be careful in your dealings, because it's almost as if she's hoping for some type of confrontation. I get the feeling.
Well, and so like she's waiting for it.
Right, in a way. She's waiting to see if somebody's going to blow up or give her a reason to, act out further, maybe.
It could imply that she feels she has a card to play or something to bring to this that might tip things in her favor, perhaps.
So I think that's the best we can do, but good luck with that. That's real
Yeah, we could try it again sometime.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Or if anything progresses and you need more information, we can try again another time. So good luck with that. All right, we're on Sile.
I need a cough drop.
And I've posted the question.
Hi, Celie.
What are Thami's hidden true feelings and perceptive now versus then if he had to confess? So are you just saying, what are Thami's true feelings and perceptions now if he had to confess them, I think that's what you're saying.
Right. Would he feel any different if he had to do this back then, or if he's doing it now?
Okay. All right. I'm using my tarot at the end of the rainbow. I brought that out again. I like this old deck. Well, it's not really a super old deck. All things considered with my amount of decks. You're welcome, Shirley.
Yep.
I hope that helped somewhat.
Well, I hope it helped a lot, but there's only so much that sometimes we can see or figure out.
Okay.
I don't have good relationships with any of my siblings.
We start with the Ten of Swords, reversed. The Ace of Swords is upright. And Judgment's upright.
And Celia has added something there.
Oh. Ah, okay. Ah, because he's teasing you. Well, it's hard for me to say what's going on here. Do you have a thought to start with, or are you...
Let me just throw those out
What
there.
do you got? Maybe that'll help me.
The Clover and the Rider. Okay.
Clover and the Rider. Well, I don't know if he had to confess. Honestly, I don't know if... Hold on a minute here. I have something weird going on. There. I don't know where that came from. That was really strange. All right. Must have clicked on something. Well, I have to say here, I think he was being a little bit playful here. Maybe he thought he was lightening up the mood a little bit or making you feel better, more lighter. I almost feel that with this card here, that there's some sort of healing energy here more than anything. So to me, it kind of indicates that maybe he was doing all of this just to make you feel better about yourself or to pick up your spirits.
Well, there's definitely some back and forth kind of stuff here, because I mostly am drawn to Judgment at the end and feel like something changed him. Ultimately he was changed either through the process or since then. I don't know that it was back then. And that could just be the realization, that he needed to change, that what he did wasn't, really a good thing to have done. With that Ten of Swords there, that could be saying that maybe he has overcome the feelings that something oppressed him or that something was against him, whether that was you or something else, I'm not sure. But to me, that Ten of Swords is just saying that there was a sense of getting over this.
Yep, I'm using it, Angel. I finally brought it back out for the season. It'll be around for a while. I like this deck, too. All right, so let me go through this again. I know this is about him and not you, in that I feel he just was being light and playful with you to make you feel good. And when I look at the Ace of Swords here, it kind of indicates to me that I don't know, maybe he kind of felt empowered by doing this, teasing you a little bit. But I also feel that he felt like there was some good engagement going on here. There was something to be gained by what he was doing. Maybe he was teasing you because, of ego. I mean, I can't rule that out, that he wants to feel, loved and supported. And I look at Judgment too, and I sort of feel here that I like what Mr. O said, that he changed, but how? I mean, I'm not really getting a clear picture.
It could be implied that he changed just in a sense of wanting to protect himself, protect his feelings, and so that meant that other things were secondary to himself. So he put himself in his priority. I'm just sort of saying I could feel that there.
It's possible here that, it's possible here in all of this that I kind of feel that maybe he wanted to keep you close as a potential partner, but I don't know if his intentions were truly there. I'm not sure they were truly there for that. I see the rider here in the clover, and I almost feel like he's looking for his destiny somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's just the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, because I feel Judgment here is about a personal transformation. And so it may be that he has decided that he was going to transition on and move towards someone else. That he's not really serious about this, that he's more playful about it. And maybe just trying to be, I don't know if I see any super malevolent intent here. I just feel that he did what he did because he thought it was, a good thing to do.
Well, I'm not seeing the playfulness there, but I'm not saying it doesn't exist. It's just I'm not really seeing it. I feel that mostly what these cards suggest is that maybe he kind of came to terms with it, his understanding, whatever that is, and he has probably decided to move on to something else. I sort of feel that from that Ten of Swords, that is sort of saying getting over what you felt was against you, and then the rider moving towards the clover, something new.
She's eating my thing, trying to get her attention.
So I think that's the best we can do for you. We might try to approach this some other time, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. This wasn't super clear for me.
It was harder for me, too.
But I do feel like he might be moving on. I feel like with that Lenormand, that's the one thing that came to my mind. And it's only because I'm not seeing any true, romantic feelings or any kind of feelings like that in the three cards.
So that Ace of Swords is like him twisting the knife a little bit on his way out.
Maybe. It's, the Ace is so positive, but I think he just enjoyed what he was doing, and saying to you. Does that make sense?
Well, we got to move on.
So, yeah, we got to move on, but good luck with that. And feel free to ask more about this person if you still need some healing. Or more info. Okay, so Selema is up, I believe, yes.
Yeah, I think so too, Celia. I think you can consider that, it's over that way.
All right, come in. Let me get this. You're driving me crazy, Shadow. Oh no, what just happened? What happened? Shadow, can't do that, okay?
All right, Selena.
Okay,
there
Selena.
you are. All right. That's the same question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I posted the wrong question. Yeah, I meant to delete it. Whoops. Sorry. Shadow was very distracting. Yes, she was. Don't give me that. All right, reading for the coming week, please. You little pest, you. Here, let me get this going for you, okay? Ignore the mouse.
Our first card is the Empress, and the Empress is upright.
Oh my gosh.
And then we have the reversed Moon. And then it's the upright Two of Swords.
I have 2 of Swords this week.
And this deck is the Midnight Boulevard, so it has a darker hue to it.
Well, it's going to be a productive, creative week for you, I think. And I think it's largely because you just seem to know what you need to do, where you need to be, the right place at the right time. Your intuition is very strong this week, and it just seems as though you're going to be very creative and productive, but it may take you a little bit of time to get your footing. In other words, I look at that Two of Swords here, and I don't think of that at the end of the week. I almost thinking of that at the beginning of the week, that it may take you a little time to plot out what it is that you need to really focus on this week, and what it is you need to do to handle a particular situation or circumstance that may be coming up for you this week. And then, you know what, by using your intuition, you will be able to move forward productively on this. I almost feel like going backwards on this one, and I just did. So you go ahead, Mr. O.
She wants to get on the ledge there because it fell there. So yeah, it's rather, clear impression here that for this next week, there are creative ways you want to express yourself, and it may be because a particular block is easing, if there was one there, or that it's just a sense of what you're perceiving, your perceptions about maybe a particular situation that needed clarification and needed sort of a sense of a direction to really choose. But now what it feels like is you have a creative way to address all that. And so
Now
this is really figuring out that you can solve certain problems creatively on your own, and maybe in a way that you just really hadn't thought about, or that is just sort of new for you.
All right, so that I covered all of that, and I take it you did
I did
now
too.
too. All right, so let's see.
And it's the fish.
Oh,
And the clouds.
so I wonder if this has to do with financial issues of some sort or money, but not necessarily. It may also be saying that maybe it's this time for you to not be confused by too many things. Focus on what's most important for you this weekend and work on that, because the clouds indicate, that clarity will come through thinking this through and what you really need to focus on. I really feel here that the fish might be about too many things, in this case.
So to some degree, I kind of feel there's this idea that this was about creative solutions or finding ways to, strategize your personal, income or your finances. So whether it's, looking into new jobs, or whether it's figuring out what you can do to balance and save money, it's about that. And I would say that maybe it's reflected in what we said there, that really something comes that clears that confusion there. So this week looks to me like, really, if you spend time thinking about certain things, solutions are going to come easier to you, and that's really going to help you with the choices you feel you have to make. Good luck.
I like that. Good luck with that. All right, Spirit Connections is up. And there's the question.
Hi, Marita.
We can just barely add you to the list, Marita.
Perhaps it's time?
Well, it's 15. Could probably do one more. Okay. Well, that's nice and all, Marita, but we can't do a birthday reading on the fly. You always have to schedule it.
Yeah, we have to
In
schedule this in
advance.
advance. So we could put it out there next Thursday.
Next Thursday, we
Which
could
is
do
May
it for
1st.
you. We could do it
And
next
whether you're there
Thursday.
or not, we would do it at the beginning, and you would be able to go to that when you can.
Yeah, because we always do it at the beginning of our shows,
Yeah, we
because
don't
it's a
do
longer
them in the middle of the
reading.
show.
And also, people can find it and refer back to it if they want to. So it's always after the card for the collective. So we could do this for you on Thursday. But if you want a regular question
Yeah,
today,
we'll do a
you can
regular
still
reading,
ask
of
that.
course.
Okay. I'll get you on the list for Thursday, Marita.
Hi, Spirit. Alrighty. And Banshee's Material Matters was on earlier today. It's her astrological reading for all the signs of the zodiac, and it kind of shows with tarot and astrology what the trends are for your personal economy for the week. So find out what your tarot keys to success are in business, education, or finance. Banshee's Material Matters.
All right, so let me get the new list out there. And again, I did post the question.
Yeah, it's your deck.
Yep. What's coming in my job opportunities? We'll use Ciro Marchetti. Did you lose that mouse again? I gotta turn it off wherever it is. There you go.
Thank you.
One more. Okay. Wow. Well, you have the Knight of Coins upright. We have the King of Swords reversed. Jeez, it's all people. It's all people cards.
Soylent
And-
Green is people.
The Queen of Cups is upright. Jeez.
I'll throw the Lenormand. It's the Sith, or the Scythe, and the Child.
The Scythe or the... Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm honestly not sure what job opportunities are coming. It seems like there may be some opportunities. I don't know whether you're going to want to pass on it or not, though. It looks as though you should give it some thought. The Knight of Coins is here, and I feel as though there may be an opportunity, a job opportunity coming your way. But I'm not sure you're going to be really happy about it. There's mixed signals here. It almost seems to me like there's some good elements to this and some bad ones. And some of them just, you may be worried about that this might be the wrong choice for you. Even though in some ways it may feel emotionally fulfilling to you. So I'm kind of mixed on this whole thing.
Well, that Knight of Coins does sort of, in the context here, indicate that, you know, you may be moving towards this. It could just be saying that you're going to be busy, you know, doing applications or applying to things online or however that works. But you're moving in that direction. Now, The Knight of Swords, so it doesn't really say there are opportunities other than the fact that you may be aware that there's something you could try to, apply to. So that's an opportunity,
That's
I guess.
the King of Swords.
Oh, it's the King of Swords.
Yeah.
But the King of Swords is reversed, and that could be saying, really, there's a couple things maybe. I sort of suggest that it could be saying there's a very competitive market for this particular kind of opportunities for you, or that the person who's in charge of this process is pretty much very much a stickler for what they want. So this would be a person who's very critical in terms of what they're looking at. That could just be in general too about the job market, because almost in all areas the job market is pretty much an employer's market. They have the luxury of choosing what they want. So it could represent that too, that it's just a very overly critical market.
Well, it could be two people, but they're not both knights. One
Hi,
is the
Lisa.
king. So you have a knight and a king. So it could be a younger person and an older individual. I'm just not feeling it. I'm feeling it more the energy, because I do feel the knights are the coming or going of something connected with finance or business or career. And I get the feeling that could indicate a new opportunity coming your way, which, is basically what you asked about. Knights are being things that are moving, right? And it could be people. I'm not ruling that out. But I guess I didn't focus that way. And I think the king here, to me, is just, you're wondering about making the choice here, if this is a wise choice for you. But I could say this too, that maybe the person who is offering you this job or that you're interviewing with is rubbing you the wrong way. I could say that, because this king reversed is not a happy character. He's not a good character. He's bossy, he's pushy, he's pretty arrogant.
Right. In the case of the king, I think the king is a person, or represents a gestalt of the kind of personalities that you may face in this process. Like I said, overly critical. We probably need to close the list, right?
Yeah, Alicia's the last one. And the list will be closed.
I'm not sure if this is about that part of the job market, where you're at there, the Marshall stuff there. But I won't say it isn't completely. The Queen of Cups makes it seem to me like this could be talking about a couple things too, that just carrying yourself emotionally steady is your best prospect for how you present yourself or how you're coming off in interviews or things. It doesn't really talk to the idea about getting a job so much. It could be talking about maybe jobs that have sort of more of a community or softer focus, i.e. it wouldn't necessarily be Marshall.
Oh, okay, whatever. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'm getting in. You asked if any job opportunities are coming. I think I see one, but I can't really see what it relates to. That's right. Just what I'm going to say here. I don't see that. I do see, though, that it seems to me, again, you're not happy with this, and why? I'm looking at the child and I'm looking at the psyche, and I'm thinking to myself that maybe this job has very little growth potential, that you feel like you might be stuck, in a particular role, and that there's not much future growth there.
Another way of looking at that could be that just the whole idea of the job process is really slow too, and once again overly critical. That scythe, being, sort of like the people who are in charge of hiring can be a total stickler for what they want. And I've been through that before when I was much younger too, when there was a particular phase in employment going on. At one point it was overall average that an employer needed 6 months to replace an employee. And of course that wasn't necessarily like a fast food, but that was within our job career that was talked about.
So I think with the psyche and the
Crazy.
child, again, I just want to say that the growth that growth is limited. It's cut. So it's almost as if you're kind of stuck at a certain level. And that's why I said stuck, but really I'm thinking growth is cut off, right?
Yeah, that would be what it means.
So I don't know. That's what I see right now, Christine. So whatever the prospect is that might come your way, either you might want to take a pass on it or you'll check it out and maybe it won't be worthwhile. I don't know that it's coming from martial arts. I really don't know about that.
Yeah, it's not clear that it is.
So
good luck.
Good luck with that. And Lena is up.
And we do have you on the list, Alicia.
And I did post a list a moment ago, and everybody who is on that list will get a reading, but now the list is closed. We won't be adding anybody else. Okay. We're on Lena.
Well, thank you for that. That's very kind of you. Thank you. And we love doing our readings for all of you guys. And we thank you that you appreciate our insights. Thank you.
You are very welcome.
Alrighty, Alicia, and you will be the final reading, so it may be a little while. All right, so I am doing Lena's reading, and I'm going to use this deck here, my Scorpio Sea Tarot. General love for the next 4 months. All right.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, I'll get to that. Okay.
Okay, our first card is the reverse Ten of Wands. The next card is the upright Knight of Swords. And then there's another knight, it's the Knight of Cups. That's kind of good for a love or relationship reading. And look at that. There's a heart. And a house. So just from the looks of it, the next 4 months look probably good. That first one's the reverse Ten of Wands.
I see it. I see them clearly right now because you have the big screen up. I've just been musing over it. So I almost feel like you're feeling less stressed about romance and love and relationships in your life. You're feeling, once we kind of let go of expectations, Lena, or what we want and desire so strongly, we just give the universe some breathing room to bring it to you. I think that's maybe why the Ten of Wands is here.
That's far out.
Oh, you like that?
I like that.
Okay.
Well, your interpretation.
Well, I just sort of felt that way. Just give yourself some breathing room in these 4 months and let what will be. Because I do feel, look at the cards you have. You have the Knight of Wands, right?
Swords.
And then, what?
Swords.
Whoops, the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups. And so I think here at the two knights, things are moving. The Knight of Swords indicates that there might be something swiftly coming your way. And it could be a new, it looks like it is a new relationship. Somebody coming, looking at the two knights here, it's hard for me to say. It could be more than one person. It could be that, you will have a choice here. Or it could be somebody who has a combination of, I feel, air and water elements to them.
Well, sometimes the court cards do mean people, but not always. Sometimes they talk about, various other kinds of interactions. Right. So I sort of feel it's open. It could represent, having more than one prospect. But let's just go with the idea that it does mean that there is a prospect or more happening for you in the next 4 months. I really like what Banshee said. The release of burdens maybe that are brought on by your expectations or your desires, and that maybe that just adds a level of kind of stress or something you don't need. And sometimes when people have these things, it's not because it's you putting that on yourself, but it's other people. It's your parent or somebody else. When are you gonna get married? When are you gonna find a nice person and settle down? All that kind of stuff. When you don't have that, when you can release that, it may clear the air and provide the movement that we see here with that Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Swords says, I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling like I can be capable for my own desires, for achievement. The Knight of Cups says, I feel I'm moving towards something warm.
So with the heart and the house, what I feel here is that you're not going to have to go very far to find this or for this to come to you. I think it's in your home area, surrounding community. It seems like it's somebody who's, in your general vicinity that might be showing interest in you. Maybe it's possible it's somebody who's recently moved into the area. I can't rule that out, but I almost feel like it's really close to home.
Yes, I would have to say that too. I mean, there's really the sense here, this modifies the general reading to really suggest that also, besides what Banshee said, that basically the whole thing just really has a very homey feeling, like, just it fills your whole life with a warm, emotional, possibly romantic feeling here.
It looks up, but I can't tell you when in the 4 months this is going to occur. But just expect that maybe things will start to shift and change during the months ahead in the relationship department for you, Lena. Good luck with that.
Alrighty.
All right, Mr. Rivera is up and looking for an oracle card. All right. I'm going to go with what I was thinking initially. It's just getting to it. I have a million decks here right now.
You're welcome, Lena. And this week on Goth Tarot, it's the 5th Wednesday of the month, and I'm pretty much through our work with certainties, so I'm going to do a kind of wild card episode of Goth Tarot. Check it out. I might feature some things I haven't done in a long time. Should be interesting. That's Wednesday at 8 a.m.
Well, at any rate, I've been getting decks out for cards I want to use for the week ahead, so I had a bunch of stuff here, as I was saying. And I decided I'll use for you, Angel, the Oracle of the Trees, which I believe has upright and reversed interpretations. So apologies. Uh-oh. Well, I don't know. It's upright. You have the Judas tree.
Yikes.
Well, that's interesting. It looks positive. I mean, the picture itself is about, the backdrop is the city of Jerusalem stands a large tree laden with beautiful flowers. At the base of the tree, we see a noose. Okay, that's not positive. Weathered and frayed. Right next to it, there is an open sack full of coins, some spilling out onto the grass. Behind the tree, a black cat is sleeping on the ruins of an ancient building. Okay, it's a little ominous, but let's see. Upright? Yeah. Well, Mr. Rivera, Drawing the Judas Tree card warns the seeker of a negative person or people due perhaps to jealousy or envy are not doing right by them. It could be a colleague or a presumed friend who has betrayed you. Speaking ill of them behind their back, while speaking ill of you behind your back, or spreading false rumors. You should keep your guard up and try to recognize the false friends among the true ones. It's more important than ever to be very reserved concerning personal matters. If this was about love, it could be somebody envious of your relationship. But I feel here, looking at this card, well, let's see. The advice is, caution and common sense are invisible weapons, but ones that are very effective against envy and jealousy. Well, among other things. But I really think here this is a card that's just basically saying, at this time, watch your back. Trust no one. And be a little bit more reserved, in what you're willing to impart about yourself to others who may want to use something against you.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Silence is golden.
Well, then we have the fish. We're throwing the Lenormand and the lily. And I'm not sure what to think.
Well, yeah, that's a weird one for this. I'm just trying to put it around what I read. So I think here that some people... Well, the lilies can be about virtue. And when I think of the fish and money and vice, I feel like maybe some people, they just want either too much of something, too much attention, too much greed. They want something all for themselves. They want, some praise or acclamation all for themselves. It almost sounds like it could be a workplace jealousy thing, or just something going on with people just funneled in the workplace, and they're not treating this very ethically. I feel that there's just something they feel like there's some gain in doing whatever it is they're doing. And that's maybe why the fish are here. They're hoping to get something out of this.
It's kind of like saying you're more abundant in something that they can't have, which is basically that integrity that, or
Oh, I
purity.
I like that. They have what they want what they can't have, and it's what you have. You have more integrity, whatever. A lot of people just like to bring good people down, to bring them down, to their level. And so don't let it happen.
Excuse me.
A need for some protection. I would totally agree with that. Just watch your back this week. I think that, to me, is the most important element here in this card. And let me give you a couple of the keywords because I think they might be important here. Betrayal, false friends, dishonesty, subterfuge, friends with ulterior motives, falsehood, slander, negative people, envy, and enemies.
Well, what planet Uranus moved into Gemini?
Yeah.
That could have some consequences too.
Good
for
point
some
there.
of the signs.
Good point there, Mr. O. Good luck with that.
Excuse me. Already.
All right.
Divine. Gita.
Yes, we are on Divine.
Life feels stagnant. Therefore, what needs to be done? Any changes?
Yeah, I have that question.
All right.
No worries there.
Let's see.
Okay. My deck, right?
No, you
What?
just did an oracle. Remember?
Oh, yes, I just did an oracle. Thank you. How quickly I forget.
So selfish.
I'm not selfish.
Oh, look at that. A new subscriber.
Yay!
Thank you, Nancy.
Welcome. Welcome, Nancy.
You're welcome, Angel.
Unfortunately,
Thank you, new subscriber.
our list is closed for today, so we wouldn't be able to read for you today if you wanted a reading. But please come back. We definitely will read for any and all subscribers. Boy, I haven't seen that message come up in a while. Okay.
Okay, Divine. So our first card is the Three of Cups, and it's upright.
Three of Cups, okay.
Our next card is the Nine of Wands, which is upright. And then finally, it's the King of Swords, and that too is also upright. So we have some nice upright cards. I'm using the Tarot of the Animal Lords.
I'm hoping we can give you some type of good advice here, but there's a little bit of ambiguity, no surprise.
So in the Lenormand, it was the Key and the Crossroads.
Yeah. So you absolutely need to find something that brings joy back. I mean, I'm looking at these cards here. First, I want to talk about your situation because it's just popping up to me here. And then I'm going to look for what it may be telling you to do. But the Three of Cups here is indicating that you need to bring more joy into your life. And because you just feel battle weary in a way, like life is feeling very heavy on you, like you've been through a lot and you just feel kind of drained. And with the the King of Swords,
Nine of Wands.
I just talked about the Nine of Wands, the King of...
Oh, you went over to that one?
I talked about both of these, so I'm going to that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is
like
the
it, but
what?
It's the King of Swords.
So with the King of Swords, you have to really come up with, a decision or solution on how to break this cycle. You have to really work on it now. And it's up here that it needs to be done. And I just went through a part which doesn't really answer a question. It was about her feelings right now. I felt this coming through really strongly. So why don't you go ahead and give the advice you want to give?
Oh, well, thank you.
Because I'm coming back to this.
I know you are. Okay, so that Three of Cups, it is about, finding, some joy in your life. That's the change you need. And that suggests you need to be more social. You need to break the stagnation by pushing yourself into social situations. And I know that's been hard for you. We've talked about this before. You need to find a way to invite yourself to, or be invited to things where there maybe are a lot of people. And so the emphasis won't be on you so much, where you'll be able to really rotate around, moving things. So I'm talking about dances, lectures, museum events, things like that, where you could be with a larger amount of people in a society and maybe find a way to engage with people there. That's one thing there with that Three of Cups.
Go ahead.
Keep going.
I did all the cards, so...
Now, the Nine of Wands is a card of saying alertness. And so the suggestion would be that maybe you're withdrawn in certain ways, Divine, so you need to be more alert for where these possibilities are. You may not really be noticing them or on the lookout because you're depressed or feeling stagnant, like you don't have those. So that's really going to be on you. And if you can't do it yourself, then you have to let maybe other people who could say, hey, Gita, there's this thing going on next Friday night. Maybe we can go to that, or whatever it is. You have to find ways to become aware of where the possibilities may be. But even in more simple things, you can be aware or alert for where the prospects of joy or happiness in your life. And I get it. Maybe being happy for you isn't necessarily interacting with people. It may be something else, but if you don't interact with people, you may not get other ideas that might lead you to that. So interacting with people, conversing, etc., is opening you up to where the stagnation can possibly change for you.
And so the final card?
And so the final card is the King of Swords, and this is just saying you really have to be direct for yourself. You really have to take charge of your life and decide you are going to decide. You have to decide you're going to decide to do these things.
Okay. So now what I think a solution is, from my perspective, is that I mentioned where you're at, because I really feel that way. But I see also in these cards here, obviously you need to find something that will inspire you and bring passion back into your life and joy. Now, he spoke about getting together with others for parties, etc. But I'm speaking in terms of engaging with others on constructive activities. Like perhaps maybe you should volunteer somewhere, to some cause or something that you really enjoy doing. Volunteer to some group and get to know people that way. And find out ways to get more, how do I want to say this? He was right about one thing too. Getting yourself in front of other people will allow you to come up with more ideas on what you could be doing. Maybe they'll give you tips of where they need people or need some help. Maybe, or if you're looking for a job or something new to do in life, maybe that'll be it. Maybe too, this is finding your joy with doing some hobbies and things that you can you can do with other people. Joining a book club at a library, joining a knitting circle or some kind of handwork kind of
You
circle.
forgot that I mentioned museums and lectures.
No, I
you
didn't
said I was only
forget
talking
that.
about parties.
I didn't forget that. I'm
you
talking
said-
about my stuff now.
Okay.
And finally here, when I go to this card, you really need to stand up for yourself more. And if you really feel that, life is dull, well, you hold the tools here to change that. You have the tools to change that. And the King of Swords is saying, too, it's up to you. It's up to you to make a decision moving forward as to whether you're going to open your world up so that you will feel more joy in life. I feel like maybe you just got to get out more for sure, like he said. God, I've been saying a lot to validate him, but also that you just need to get more ideas that way. You are clearly, the key here is not to stand at that crossroads, not to stand here wondering what to do. The key is moving down one of these paths and just doing it. Because once you do something, whether you enjoy it or not, you've at least opened the door to doing more.
The cards really emphasize the sense of doing more than thoughtfulness about it. Mm-hmm. So your solutions really are having to kind of broach the issue. Good luck, Divine.
Oh, that was abrupt. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I understand you can't find the right mingling, but just keep trying. Just keep trying. I'm sure you will. I mean...
Put the word in other people's ears. Maybe they have suggestions, or maybe they can find things or mention things to other people that will bring it back to you. It's about networking in some regards. Hi, Anthony.
So I wish you luck with that, Divine.
Okay, so you got a little time off. Good for you.
Yeah,
yes,
thanks
good luck,
for the
Divine.
question, Anthony.
It's your deck.
On June 1st, eh?
Well, thank you, Divine. I hope it's helpful information. I'm like you in a way because I'm a Scorpio too, and sometimes I get very broody and I don't want to mingle or do things because I just don't have the spirit for it. There are other times where it is easier, but astrologically, I think the last 7 years or so have been difficult for Scorpios and some other signs because of Uranus in Taurus. It just sort of caused problems with our comfort levels because Taurus is about how comfortable people feel, and Uranus supplies too much variables, and so it affected signs like ours. I think Leo and Taurus themselves were represented in that. So watch, that change just happened in the last couple of days. Give it a chance, Divine. Things may, start to change as the planets are moving. Take care.
Okay, Anthony, I've been focusing on your question. Let's see. Okay. Okay, the King of Coins is reversed. Okay.
You're welcome.
The Wheel is reversed, the Wheel of Fortune. I don't want you to get upset, Anthony, because we do also have the Ace of Wands here, upright.
The Tree. That's nice. And clouds.
Wow.
But the bright side is facing the trees.
That's good. And I do think that way. I feel here that, you probably are getting a job, you know what you're doing pretty much, but of course every new job has a curve to it. And I feel here with the King of Coins, in the early on getting started there, it might be that some things aren't clicking right away, and it's going to take you a little bit of time to get in your element here. You may feel a little bit, I don't want to say a fish out of water because I'm sure that's not it, but you might feel a little bit like there's a learning curve here for you, and you may feel it's a little bit chaotic at the start. And the Wheel isn't helping in this. I almost feel here, it's really funny. Like, for example, you're on your way to your first day of work and your car breaks down or something delays you and goes wrong. I almost feel like there's a twist of fate involved in some of this here going on. It doesn't have to be something like that, but it just seems like you feel like you might be having a little bit of bad luck or something. But I think it's all coming because, it's all new and you will acclimate.
I thought that was really cool what she said because it made me look at the king differently. I was going one way and then I said, oh, the king, that's something you can't manage. And so maybe the idea that something you can't manage, i.e. an inadvertent car problem or something, might make you feel uncomfortable. No, we're not predicting this happens on your first day.
Or you have computer issues at work, getting used to their system or whatever. I can't rule that out.
But the idea that maybe there could be something that is, unexpected and maybe throws a little bit of a lynch or a variation there could happen. I'm not going to say for sure it is. To me, when I was first looking at that King of Coins, I wonder if that was saying that maybe something financially about your compensation might be different than when you thought you were hired in. Like maybe there's a slight change and like your probation period might last longer between steps or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I can't rule that out.
Can't rule that out. The Wheel reverse could be saying that there just is a sense really of newness here of sort of getting into the routine. Wheels normally turn around in a certain way. Maybe the Wheel is saying like, oh, it's going to start and stop. It's going to start and stop. Oh, it's going to tilt a little bit. So some of this is really saying you are having some growing pains or some adjustment, alignment in the beginning. I think this is definitely beginning.
Well, and that's the point, because there it is, the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands heralds a time of a new beginning, good news coming, feeling good about this new beginning. So I think here, but also what aces say is that it's just the beginning. It's going to require work and patience and being all in order to manifest growth here. But the growth potential is there. You also have the tree in the Lenormand, which indicates growth and knowledge, gaining a lot of knowledge from this position. And it's almost as if, you see, with the I was going to use my wand here a minute, with the clouds here, okay, and the light side facing the tree, that's indicating to me in time clarity will be achieved, new knowledge will be gained, and it will be a very growthful position for you. So I think this burble here is only temporary, whatever it is, and so just expect that it might be a little rocky in the early going, but it has the potential to settle down. But of course that is because you're willing to do the work necessary to make it so.
I'm getting the feeling like this is about a 3-month duration of getting acclimated, which sounds
usual.
about normal in a way. It might be that there's a few more curves than normal because of any particularities about the job that are different than you might expect. But I do feel that ace combines with the tree to sort of suggest there's some really good growth potential here. And mostly that wears, the idea of what was confusing about that wears off shortly. That's why I think the white side is there. So I really think, it won't be very long before you feel very much at home there, very much involved in the thick of it. So good luck, Anthony.
Wishing you the best. I'm sure it will iron all out. I'm pretty sure. Because like I feel with the wheel there, it's temporary. It will shift and change.
Right, the wheel's always a temporary condition.
Good luck with that. Good to see you back. All right. Ari is up, and I'm going to post the question.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Anthony. All right, so when will I possibly get a whole new job? If the time frame is over a month, why is it going to take so long?
Some job industries do have faster turnover and hiring, and some don't. Like I mentioned earlier, it used to be a common wisdom that for certain kind of office workers, I think that's what I was referring to, office workers, that it's like can be on average 6 months to replace somebody, and that takes into account that they have a variety of computer skills or other personal skills, and finding them, going through the process, it does seem like a long time, doesn't it?
It depends. I mean, if we're talking, food places and things like that, it may be a different timeline, and some things take forever, literally. I waited over a year to hear from a job once. I had literally given up on them, but they didn't give up on me, and I ended up taking that job too.
Food industry tends to not follow that as much. Okay, it's my cards?
Yes.
All right, I had actually forgotten.
Uh-huh.
When will you possibly get a new job?
Well, I'm going to keep the timeline cards handy in case we need it, because I'm not sure what you're doing or how you're handling the question, but we might not be able to see if it's going to be a month or not.
I was thinking I was winging it, and that you would probably have to do that.
Or do we want to do a yes-no on that part of it?
Well, we could at the end.
Yeah.
Will it take longer than a month, or will it be within a month, that kind of thing. All right.
Anyway, I'll keep them here just in case, so...
So it's the Ten of Swords reversed. It's the Queen of Swords upright. And it's Temperance reversed. So it's a little good, it's only a little bad in my opinion. The Ten of Swords reversed may indicate that there's a particular battle to fight here or to win, and that you will win it. And so this could be the way you come off in an interview, or the process itself of going for a job. The Queen of Swords talks about somebody who's dynamic and takes action and decides truthfully. And Temperance reverse sort of seems like maybe things are unbalanced. So I don't think this gives us a way of saying that it will be within a month or not. It looks like, it's not very definite at all. I don't know. What do you get from that?
Well, what I get from that is I think that with Temperance reversed here, it's indicating to me that, things aren't, well, let me start with that 10 of Swords. I feel here that you've got to rise up and you've got to make it happen. I think here that, I don't know. You're asking, will you get a job? Do you have any applications out right now? I mean, I don't know what the status is. If you have no applications out right now, it's going to be limiting your chances of finding a job within a month. But at any rate, either way, I feel here this is up to you to rise up and meet that challenge now. Don't allow anything to hold you down from trying to get this job in the month ahead. Number one, if you want a job a month from now. And number two, with the Queen of Swords, with the Queen of Swords there, you've got to clearly define what you're looking for and go for it. And you have to engage with others maybe to find it. Maybe you have to get tips from others. Maybe also this is just talking about making calls, putting in resumes, trying to get your foot in the door for an interview somewhere. This is definitely about, the Queen can definitely be about engaging. So it's about getting up and doing it, engaging with the right people, and I'm finding something that's really going to fit your needs. I think this has to fit your schedule. If you want a full-time job, what do the hours work for you? Is there something specifically you need? This might also determine, how long it's going to take for you to find this job. I almost feel like there's still a process going on here that you have to do some work in order to make this happen within a month. It's not impossible, but there's work to be done.
It's definitely daunting. I feel myself that a month would be the very minimum it would take, and that it's probably more likely going to be longer than that. And like Banshee says, I feel you have to really rise to the occasion. That is a good way of looking at that reversed Ten of Swords. That sort of sense of saying, like, I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm rising up against whatever odds I perceive. And the Queen of Swords sort of backs that up too. So I think it's up to you, Ari, to push yourself to do that. I don't think this looks like it's going to be within a month. But we have the Fish and the dog, the loyal dog.
So I would say this, and unless you're desperate for money right now, remain loyal to yourself, number one, and make sure you're going to get the money you feel you deserve, on whatever jobs you're looking at here. I feel it's important for you right now to get what you feel you really need and deserve in life, because of also that temperance here, being that there's a lack of balance right now. Aside from making sure you get the schedule you want and, of course, full-time work that you want, make sure it's paying you well. Make sure it's paying you what you expect. Don't settle for less at this point if you can avoid not to. If you have another job and you can keep going till you find this, then do so. I think here, this is also indicating to me that there's a process involved here. The other thing about this, I'm going to add one more thing, Mr. O, I'm sorry, but this could also be talking about the idea here that maybe friends or family or somebody close to you can steer you towards some opportunities that are worth checking out. That's the only other thing I see when I see the dog and the fish here. So good luck with that.
All right, exactly. I feel, that this really says you have to be loyal to maybe your own sense of what it is, the ideas of success that you hold for yourself. And, you always impress me when you talk about what you feel your plans are for the future, even if they're not things that I would necessarily think I would like. You have an idea for yourself. You have a plan and you have a time scale. And so that always impresses me. Be loyal to that if you think that's what can guide you.
Let's do a quick yes/no.
Alrighty.
Will you get a job in a month? And see what it says. The odds are against you according to these cards, but I want to kind of see if we can get a better answer here. Because just because the odds are against you doesn't mean you can't make it happen. I'm going to let you pick up the cut your way or whatever way you want. Okay. They're
And
thick.
it's Major Arcana.
It's death reversed, which
Death
means good
reversed.
luck.
Good
Again,
luck.
it's sort of saying the cards are saying it's on you. It's on you to do this and create the change you want. Death is reversed here, indicating it's stagnating. And so the thing is, you need to create this change. You need to do more to try to make this happen. I think that's what it's saying here. If you want change, you're going to have to work for it.
You're an Aries, and so deep inside this is true, that the biggest and best changes that happen for you are the ones that you're totally hands-on with. So good luck.
I wish you luck
and
with
we're always
that.
here to answer those questions.
Oh, Kara, I'm so sorry. We'll have to catch you next time, though, because we're going to run into some
Yeah, we're not
overtime
going to
here.
be done on time at all.
You missed Shadow. Shadow was going nuts here, playing like crazy.
Whoops.
She was driving me nuts. She was distracting.
All right, so Ren is up.
Yep.
And general guidance. I'm going to use my Dark Angels. You did that.
Yeah. I know I did this for that reading, but you used the cards
you're
for
right.
the whole.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So, thank you.
God forbid.
All right.
Yeah, she was all over the set, Kara. Knocking it around, pushing the table around.
Oh my goodness. Playing with everything. Playing with my little things that I put around my cards.
And she only left like about 10 minutes ago, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe a little longer.
Very playful mood. But she's the more rambunctious of the three, really.
Yeah, the others are kind of fat and sassy.
Well, Sonny's not fat.
Well, he's sassy. Oh, wait, that's sassy.
Sassy. All right, I'm using the For Haxa Tarot. What is on this table? Oh, it's from that.
Don't ask.
Okay. All right, so general guidance. Well, you have the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Earth. And you have the Ace of Water upright, the Ace of Cups. Wow, you've got everything the way it should be, I have to say. Ren. And the Ten of Fire or Wands reversed.
And I'd love to give her some Lenormand.
Oh, here you go. So, wow. It looks really positive. Let's see what Mr. O will throw out there. Figures.
She laughs.
No, it's perfect.
The bouquet. That includes the lily.
More flowers.
More flowers.
This is like a week that's going to go so smoothly for you
I like it.
that I'm going to jump to the Lenormand really quickly and say this could be setting up some long-term joy or happiness for you. So whatever happens this week may linger a little bit longer.
I like that. I'm going to just start with the cards and suggest, of course, that The general guidance is saying really work with what you know and work to your benefit, work to the value of what you feel that work provides. And I'm not necessarily talking about the work you do to earn your living, but in general, just whatever it is you do in your life, work to that aesthetic as being valuable for you.
Yeah, I mean, I almost want to combine the Eight of Earth with the Ace of Water, because I want to say work on the things that bring you joy, or the things you feel could bring you joy once you've completed them. So in other words, if you want a new job, for example, work on trying to obtain one. If you want to beautify your home, work on that if that brings you joy or will bring you future joy. I think here this is something I feel strongly about, that because you also have joy in these gifts lasting longer. So work on the things that bring you joy, and release some of the burdens and stress you have in your life right now. I think that will help you do that, actually, if you really work on the things that you want that will bring you pleasure in life.
Perhaps these cards are saying, Ren, that if you just do what you need to do, you focus in the ways you need to, you do the tasks you do, you will bring joy to your life. You will find a way to release certain burdens or solve certain questions or problems. And the whole effect will just magnify or evolve or grow the feelings of joy or other gifts you are bringing to yourself. So in a way, the general guidance is just saying, stay the course and do what you normally do, that this is a period maybe where things are going to manifest just because of that sense of your personal integrity.
Well, I absolutely like that too. And you could probably take Mr. O's to the bank, so to speak, because it does make sense. It does make sense. Whatever you're working on this week could bring you great joy and will help you because it will help you some stress and burdens in your life. And you could be setting yourself up for a little bit of a longer term period where things seem less stressful and less tense, and you can relax more and enjoy things more. There you have it. That's what we have for you. Good luck with that. I feel like sleeping, Kara. I feel like going out to bed after this show, but I think I got some work to do.
Right.
All right, sunshine is up. I got to write my cards for the day, so I'm not going to sleep anytime soon. All right, so sunshine is up, and the question is, what blessings are coming towards me?
All right, I'm going to use the Dark Angels.
All right.
Hi, sunshine.
Whoops. Okay. I'm sure I missed it. I didn't get a question for Dr. V. I'm going to go.
I saw it, so I'll find it for you.
Yeah, I'll try to find it, but you can go ahead. There it is.
Okay, what blessings are coming towards sunshine? And it's the reversed Five of Cups.
I've got the question for Dr. V.
And it's the reversed High Priestess.
Five of Cups.
And it is the upright Knight of Pentacles.
Wow. Well, what blessings are coming in your life? Okay, so I'm going to start with the High Priestess reversed by saying that you may not see it coming. You may not see it coming, but new opportunities are going to be coming your way for growth or advancement or maybe even pleasure, you know. We have the Knight, which night is that?
It's the Knight of Pentacles.
It's the Knight of Pentacles. It could be financial. It could be career oriented. It could be just enjoying, you know, some of those simple pleasures in life, but, you know, a slower pace to things. But I feel here that you may not see it coming, but that's what I feel the blessings are coming to you, that there are new opportunities and it could be beneficial to you.
That's pretty far out because your question was what's coming towards you. Yeah. And with that High Priestess reverse, this is saying like you couldn't possibly imagine what this is.
Yeah.
So this is really going to be out of left field, something that you really didn't expect. And it's what Banshee says. It seems like it's a new opportunity coming towards you. It might have a past connection. It might be connected, and maybe this is why you don't expect it at all, because it might be something you really thought was gone or absent from your life. But
it could be a person.
Right,
it could be a person returning back to your social circle. Right.
But it just sort of feels like unexpectedly this opportunity to re-engage or to check the situation out comes. And it does bring a sense of consistency or stability to you. So if it's a person, maybe this new friendship or situation stabilizes things for you in your own life or creates a sense of comfort or strength that you yourself feel like you can move forward with, something like that. So maybe it's even a new relationship that you didn't expect. I don't know.
I know. It's interesting. All right. Well, let's see what's going on here, shall we? Interesting.
Ships sailing. Oh, and the gentleman.
Well, it could be somebody is moving back. I mean, if you have family or friends or people that you know overseas or further away, they may be traveling back. They may be either visiting or coming back. It could also be that somebody else is involved in this opportunity. Like he talked about, it could be a relationship. I can't rule that out, but something is moving towards you. Someone is moving towards you. It may help and may be, you know, presenting you with this new opportunity.
I like it. I can't say anything really different. It does feel to me like there is a great resonance between those Lenormand and the tarot, and that this could be about some sort of prospect that either you had once before, a friendship that could start up again, or even a relationship, or it could be something that just prevents an opportunity for some other kind of growth or situation that you would want to take part in.
Right. I mean, it could even be work you've done before, too, you know, that you enjoy doing. So whatever the case may be, good luck with that. It looks really interesting.
All right, Sunshine. And we're on Dr. Victor then. Dr. V.
That was kind of a cut and dry reading.
Hers? Sunshine?
Yeah. All right, and here's Dr. V's question. You're welcome, Sunshine.
Welcome.
Good luck with that.
Hope that worked for you.
Okay, so unfortunately we lost GW. May I know Universe's current final outcome regarding funding request to G submitted by JN? So it's about a funding request.
Okay, that's going to be your deck again? That's my deck.
Oh, I mean, I left this out here all this time.
You did.
Well, let's use this one. All right. I didn't use the Moon Garden today, though, did I? To use that one.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Oops. Jeez. There. Okay. Well, it's the Three of Swords upright. The Eight of Swords is reversed. Huh. And Strength is upright.
I'm going to throw the Lenormand out there then.
Yeah.
The Bear and the Ship.
Well, that could be a ambiguous one a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Okay. So there's some sorrow attached to this. Maybe, I don't know if it's disappointment from not getting the other, the GW that you lost. But the Three of Swords indicates some sorrow here. But it doesn't seem like it's going to hold you back. That's the weird thing about this. I almost feel like, whatever the sorrow is, maybe it is from the other thing that you're dealing with. And so you're really now pushing hard to make, to have made this G happen. And I feel here with Strength upright is kind of indicating that, well, I'm not sure.
Well, you mentioned GW, which we did the last time. I remember that, those initials.
Right.
So I think going into the question, this is saying that didn't work out. It sort of felt like it was, maybe heartbreak is a hard word for it, but it felt like something rented apart. So going into the next situation, though, the final outcome regarding another situation or request, it looks more hopeful, like maybe you're feeling like whatever blocked or limited your movement there, you figured it out, or you don't have it, that something is not as limiting towards your movement or how you're trying to present this, and so you feel like this will maybe reach the audience it wants to reach. And then of course there's strength there, so it feels like maybe this one's got more going for it, and that maybe what you're finding is that this is a softer sell to that. I don't know if there's a lot of salesmanship to these proposals.
Well, the bottom line is, too, you've probably done all the work and you're just waiting now for the judgment. And so that's sort of where I think you're at. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But the thing is, I like what you said. I think here that this looks better for you. Maybe they will look at this in a different light, and they feel more empowered to pursue this. And I feel here that they feel that there may be good reasons to do so, positive reasons to do so. When I look at this, though, I am concerned. I'm concerned on two folds. I feel here that it could indicate that maybe this is coming to you and you will get this grant or money, because the bear is about financial empowerment and the ship is about, of course, things moving towards you. But I could also see this as moving away from you, this as well. My hope is that it's not, because I feel here that it almost as if they're seeing the value in this, Often this card indicates a person who is not seeing their own value. And so when I'm thinking about that, I'm looking and turning this around upside down because it's reversed. They may be seeing the value in, what you're presenting, and they may want to, maybe they will partially fund it. I'm wondering if that's possible here.
Well, to me, I don't know about that. That's an interesting thought, though. But I think the ship is moving towards you. You're the bear here, in a sense, because I think it's saying there's a relationship between strength and the bear, both the idea of how you actually do apply yourself towards that, selling the position. And so the ship moving towards you implies that there were other people, other proposals going on, but yours seems to be the one that they want to move towards.
I hope so.
I
mean, I think there's some positive elements to this reading. That Three of Swords is a little bit troubling to me, though, to be honest with you, because
True.
I'm not sure if it's talking about your feelings about the past one or if it's talking about being disappointed in this one. And that's what I'm saying here is maybe the disappointment or the sorrow comes in because they're only willing to do so much. But
Right, a partial success.
you know, let's see how this plays out. I think there's a potential for success here, and I wish you luck with that,
Good luck,
Dr.
Dr.
V.
Victor. All right, and we're going to move on to Marita.
Yep. And Marita wants, will I be getting a new job soon?
All right, I'm going to use my Karma Tarot. And of course, if it's ambiguous at all, then we'll do a yes or no for the final answer.
All right.
The Karma Music Tarot is one of my oldest tarots. I've had it since the late 70s, I believe. Still in pretty good shape.
Relatively. A little battered, but still very usable.
Quite.
Oh, I guess I pulled these two at once, so...
All right, Marita, will you be getting a new job soon? So our first card is the reverse Nine of Cups. Ouch.
Ooh.
The next card is the Lovers, and it's upright. And the final card is the Chariot, which is also upright. So a little ambiguous or mixed.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I think there's things here. So will you be getting a new job soon? Maybe not as soon as you would like. You know, the Nine of Cups is reversed here. So you're going to have to put out more effort to get what you want. So in other words, it's not going to be easy for you to manifest this soon. But that's not impossible. It's going to depend on how willing you are to move forward on this. I'm going to jump right to the Chariot here and say that you've got to keep motivated. You've got to keep motivated. You've got to keep working on it. You got to keep throwing resumes out there. I mean, it's one thing to put a resume out there and then now you're going to sit back and wait and see what happens. No. You just keep throwing them out there and see what sticks. And the bottom line is you can refuse interviews if you want, but I would take them all, you know, because you never know what's going to pay off or not. And so that's where the Lovers comes in, you know. So once you keep doing this, you may have some choices to consider. And so, things are looking positive for you, but I'm not sure it will happen in the time frame unless you put out more effort.
So I want to hedge that way too. I sort of feel like it's doubtless that you will be able to get a new job, but the question really is when soon is very fungible here. The other thing too is that your diligence is really necessary here. That's what the Chariot is. And the idea
determination.
And the idea of the Lovers maybe says, you know, ultimately it's up to you to choose or to make the right decisions for this. So having said that, this could be indicating that if it did happen sooner, maybe that choice is one that you're not going to feel as good about. That maybe you might switch jobs and then feel like you didn't like it as much to do that. Just going to say that. It's not necessarily true. In the Lenormand, it's the Garden and the Moon.
Get out there, keep connecting with employers, keep doing all you can to connect with employers because success could happen for you. You know, the moon is about successful employment. So I feel like it can happen to you, but it's going to be through networking. It's going to be through you, you know, doing the work to try to set up these interviews with people. Something is out there for you. You just have to keep working at it.
Good luck, Maria.
Good luck with that. I feel very optimistic, but cautiously about it happening real soon. That's going to be on you.
Alrighty. So we're on our final reading then, and that's Alicia.
Yep,
Hello.
and she's checking in on her work bids.
Yes. So I hope you're done puttering around and you're sitting back at your monitor or whatever.
You're back.
There you are.
Awesome. Thank you for grabbing those.
Uh-huh. And I'll just remind everybody that we are back on Thursday night from 7 to 9 p.m. for pretty much the same show. Thanking everyone for some new subscribers we got recently. I think we're up to 877 or 8 possibly.
Oh, wow.
So it's very nice.
That is awesome.
Happy hour next Saturday will be at its normal time of 10 a.m. I don't think there'll be a lot of overtime because I'm working the afternoons, so check it out. But it's a free single card drawing or oracle deck designed to uplift your spirit and enlighten you. Consider it a positive message, maybe even a divine one. All right.
All right.
Yes, that was good timing, Alicia.
Okay, the Nine of Pentacles is reversed. The Eight of Pentacles is reversed. Wow. This is sad. I'm sorry. The Ace of Wands is reversed as well. What do you have? Pick things up, Mr. O. What?
The whip.
Okay.
The heart.
Ooh.
Alrighty.
Okay, well, it seems as though things are not as satisfying as what you would like them to be. The Nine of Pentacles is reversed. It doesn't necessarily mean things are totally dead in the water, but it does indicate to me that you really are looking for some increase here that is not happening. So I'm going to go card by card.
You're not comfortable with the bids. That's the Nine of Pentacles reverse. Yeah. You don't feel there's room here to do what you need them to do, or you don't feel that there will be good return or good feedback on them.
Or if you're looking for more right now, which is what I think you might be, it just indicates that this seems to be lacking. You're not happy and satisfied with situations as they are. And so much so that you feel you're not doing enough. Maybe, you're feeling like there's not enough work to do, or that maybe some of the bids that you are working on, as Mr. O might have alluded to here, they're not satisfying to you. I could see that with this card here.
You may be over-criticizing yourself or picking on yourself in this manner, or blaming yourself, or maybe you're not doing that, but maybe you're getting hints from around you, either the environment or other peripheral people maybe, that you're not doing enough. So that's not good either, because it just sort of bogs your morale in a way.
And finally, with the Ace of Wands reversed, it's kind of like no good news is coming in. It just seems like things seem delayed, put on hold. So, in other words, if you're waiting for a reply from somebody, whether they're going to accept your bid or proposal or whatever, there may be delays, or you just feel like things are really stagnating right now. It's hard to get anything new coming in. And I don't know. It just seems like this could be temporary, is my hope. But it just seems like everything is kind of slow right now and and nothing to be really enthusiastic about.
Well, I don't know if the work you do with the bids you take and work on is definitive of the economy in general, but I wonder, because wands are about your economic barometers in certain ways, or about economic things, and the Ace of Wands, it almost feels like this is saying that the economy is really kind of sluggish right now. It's not moving. The wands as a sign of the economy. So this could be the overall, where it's pointing to just saying that your bids or these things are influenced by the health of the economy too at this point.
So the heart and the whip. I feel like this may be getting to you a little bit. That you're being affected by this. It's irritating, it's frustrating, because I feel here you're not sure how to move, how to break this stagnation right now. And I feel here that that's why the whip is here. It's just saying there's no way to kind of break through. And you're feeling kind of blue about this. You're feeling, I don't even know if it's blue. You might be feeling stressed and a little bit agitated and trying to figure out how to get things moving. Yeah, how to get things moving again. What do you need to do to shake things up? And I'll tell you right now, from the cards I'm seeing here, it's not very clear. It's not very clear.
It isn't very clear, but I think this is maybe where you do come in, Alicia, that you are maybe aggressive for your concerns at the level they need to be. And so that whip there is saying, really, you're going to be trying to figure out how you can whip things into shape. You're going to be trying to figure out what you need to change or what you need to do differently, or any of that, in order to be a little more aggressive. And I get the feeling you are pretty aggressive on your own, but you're feeling like maybe this is now the time is to pour onto speed a little bit more for you.
Yeah, I think if you want something hard enough, bad enough, you're going to have to work harder to get it, number one. So I don't know if that means reaching out to more people, reaching out to more interests that, would want to work with you. I think here that, you're going to have to show people your passion. You're going to have to show people your passion in a more aggressive manner for what you do. And, if you put more of your heart and soul behind that, then maybe it will garner the attention and break this logjam.
Wands are about networking, and I don't know how your work works enough to determine that, but maybe you have to figure out other ways of networking this, or networking solutions for you, or the suggestions you're looking for, finding ways to go to forums or dialogues where people do similar things to you, so that you can, maybe sample from what they do, or maybe they can give you more tips.
Maybe the heart is about making more connections too, to try to generate more interest in business. Maybe that's what that's about too, is appealing to, to people, getting them to like you more, getting them interested in you more. I honestly am not sure here. That's the best I can do, is what I just told you, is to really try to show your passion to other people more in wanting to work for them, maybe.
That's what we got.
That's what we've got. I hope that helps. Good luck with that.
Thank you for everything, too.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what we have. Good luck with that. And thanks, everybody. Wow. So we went into about 15 minutes overtime, which really wasn't bad.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think, the birthday readings slow us down a little bit. We might be able to fit in a few more people when we don't have birthday readings, but it's a busy season, and we do have one coming next Thursday as well. So I want to thank everybody for their patience with us and all of that, and thank you for joining us week
Good
after
to see
week.
Divine
So many
again.
of you.
Good to see Anthony.
And yeah, Anthony and Divine coming back around the same time here. That's really awesome.
Thank you,
Really
Sunshine.
appreciate that. And it's always good to see people that we have connected with. So take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your day and evening. And Kara, hopefully we'll catch you for a reading next time. And we'll see you all soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye for now.